Hello, this is my level 50 Fatespire tower build. The reason why I use these abilities is because I'm a support spec with a swiftness and specialization stats. If you want to do more damage, you might not need defensive abilities. I'll explain that later. I'll just quickly go over all the stuff that I use. For awakening abilities, Symphonia is a defensive option. Oratorio does a lot more damage, and together with awakening engraving, this could help you clear a lot faster. First, sound shock, for example, guardian tune and wind of music are optional. Sound shock doesn't do much damage. I just took it because it's instant and I feel most comfortable using that one over other abilities. Wind of music and guardian tune are defensives. As I said, this works because I'm a support build. If you want to do damage and go crit, you don't need these. You can just focus on damage and dodge more, and you'll probably be faster and do it tower easier. However, if you don't want to go through trouble of getting a full crit gear just to do tower and you wanna rush through it with a support gear like I did, I'll just tell you which abilities I use and why I think it's most comfortable for the tower. So Guardian Tune, it's a defensive with push immunity, and when it expires you get a percentage of your HP as a shield. You can remove a point from sound shock if you need more defensive. Then you can use this minus cooldown, minus duration for more shield uptime, because every time the buff expires you get a shield. Wind of Music, this is another defensive ability. You can use this to tank some abilities of the bosses that you don't have time to dodge, and it's not a one shot. Reduced cooldown, minus 40% damage when you use the skill, and whenever you use the skill you get a percentage of your HP as a shield. Sunholic, this is the highest damage output ability that you have. It has a short cast time and you cannot move it with the passives that I chose. So damage per hit 5% up to 30%, increased duration and amount of hits, and then because we have sustain enhancement, hit amount decreased to 7, but increased damage output by 700%, and you also cast it faster. Stigma, this is another high damage output ability. Increased duration and number of hits. Then with this passive it follows the enemy, and bonus damage with everything increased from 12 to 60%. Heavenly Tune, it's AoE instant ability. It has a decent damage. Minus cooldown on hit, reduced enemies attack power, and bonus outgoing damage. Prelude of Storm, another AoE instant. Stuns small targets, does not stun bosses. Damage when you're not in party increased, and also to normal monsters. Outgoing damage bonus, and leaving electrical field. Sonic Vibration does high damage. With this passive it provides you with a shield for each enemy hit, and damage to push immune foes plus 30%. Sonic Vibration does a small damage. This is optional, I only took it because it's instant and it works well. You can maybe try Harp and play around, or maybe if you need more defensive, go for Guardian Tune, last passive. So, another option to this build is to go full crit. If you wanna commit and go for a full crit build, then you can change some defensive abilities. For example, you can remove Guardian Tune, Wind of Music, and maybe try Harp and Conviction Core. You have to test and see how it goes. Conviction Core is a small AoE around you. It's good if you stick to the boss and just around him. A Harp, basically you place it in one place and it keeps attacking for a short period of time. You can see the runes that I use on the right. The rune that I like the most, and I have a few copies of it, is chance of all cooldowns when skill is used. So this works because I'm again swiftness build, and it just keeps reducing my cooldown even further thanks to swiftness. Another great option is skill casting speed and chance of attack and move speed when you use the skill. This helps when you constantly need to dodge bosses' attacks. Also, on a higher offensive side, the bleeding on skill use. And maybe if you want more defense, there's this rune that gives you 5% of max HP when you use the skill. For engravings, I used Ether Predator. It keeps spawning some orbs that you pick up and they stack 30 times and increase your attack power and defense per stack. On third level, it's 0.5 attack per stack and all defense +1. What really could help you in the tower is maximize the awakening level 3. If you play swiftness or specialization support build, then Desperate Salvation is your defensive heal. If you have a critical set and you want to do more damage and try to finish it faster, then True Courage is a good option together with let's see, Keen Blunt Weapon, and another good option should be Adrenaline. One more good offensive option could be Spirit Absorption. If you're looking for a more defensive option, then there's a Fortitude and Heavy Armor. Heavy Armor is slightly better than Fortitude. For the gems, I didn't have any useful gems, and if I did, it was only minus cooldown. What I recommend, if you wanna get it specific for the tower, get attack plus cooldown gems for the selected 5 skills. Stigma, Sonic Vibration, Heavenly Tune, Soundholic, and Prelude of Storm. The last one could be a cooldown for a Wind of Music. If you play a critical build, then a better option would be to get 8 gems for all 8 offensive skills, if you obviously change these defensive ones. And then just to get 3 cooldowns for the ones that you use the most. For the card set, because I used this support build, I used all elemental damage reduction. Also another good option, max HP. If you play a critical build and if you invested in cards, and if you have some vacant sets, maybe you can use Guardian Threat for a bonus critical damage and critical rate in the Lost Wind Cliff, or maybe even Light of Salvation for holy damage bonus and granted holy damage. I'll leave a link of level 50 Fatespire Tower clear in description. It's probably the best place you can see the performance of this build. I'll try to showcase it here just to explain some rotation. I'll just summon a boss monster. I like to start a fight with a Guardian Tune, and then you can cast Wind of Music, and by the time the shield from Wind of Music expires, you will get the shield from Guardian Tune, as you can see. Then again, you have another shield from Sonic Vibration. It's not that much powerful, but if you hit it twice, you get it for each hit. Then rest of the abilities, like Stigma, it follows enemies whenever you have a chance, just cast it. Heavenly Tune is instant. For a Sound Holic you need proper position because you need to cast it fully for maximum damage output. Then again, Prelude of Storm, instant, and Sound Shock, you can just push it from ever, it's a decent range. And that's it. See ya!